Ringside to Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, we've got two teams here certainly with something to prove after a disappointing 2017.
Let's be honest about it. Their playoff aspirations, they went splat, didn't they? They've got to prove now to themselves and to their fans. Are they one of those teams that's ready to move back up, or are they one of those teams that really has to rebuild?
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 10th-year quarterback. This is his first season in his 30s. 30-year-old out of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years, over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
This one fielded at the 5. Tavon Austin, he's going to go. The 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavon Austin, 95 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 3-4 Detroit Lions get possession of the football here in just a second again. And, you know, they lost last week to Seattle 28-14. Matthew Stafford, though, did throw a couple of touchdown passes, and that's now 6 straight games that he has thrown 2 or more.
Yeah, the problem was they did turn the ball over 3 times. They got outrushed 176-34. The Lions are now in last place in the NFC North. Tough game coming up next week with the Minnesota Vikings on the road.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. It's a big play there for the Lions. 66 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll get it up the middle. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. But I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Have a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He's going to let this one go deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. And again, it's Prescott. Shakes off the side. Flushed out right. Flushed to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all it does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. This will be caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Elliott, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They get it to him running left. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Prescott, forced out to his left. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Damon Harrison able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. Finds Roberts left side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now a carry for Blount. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Back to throw, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
still first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Here's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On third down, it's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And that one results in 35 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Here's Blunt. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, Charles, hard to believe we're already at the halfway point of the season, less than 100 days now until Super Bowl 53. And right now, Chiefs-Rams, they appear to be so good. But give me one other contender in each conference that could press them.
Well, let's start in the AFC. If you're going to give me a strong contender or have me pick a strong contender, you never take New England out of it. And don't forget, New England has the victory over Kansas City, albeit at home in New England. But still, Tom Brady and the Patriots, never count them out. If you want to pick a dark horse team out of the AFC, how about the Los Angeles Chargers? Philip Rivers and crew throwing it around. They'll get Joey Bosa back a little bit later in the season to help provide better pass rush. If that happens, they can compete with anyone. If I flip it over to the NFC side, New Orleans right now looks like a very strong contender, playing very well on defense, and Drew Brees is flinging it like crazy, and Alvin Kamara is running it and catching it. But how about this for a dark horse? The Seattle Seahawks. They're back to playing Seahawks football, running the heck out of it on offense. Russell Wilson now guiding your football team, and a young, hungry team wanting to establish their own bona fides.
And on a little 2-game winning streak now at 4-3. But just taking a glance real quick at next week's games in the NFL, the Chiefs at Browns, that's kind of intriguing. Obviously, the Browns are struggling, Charles, but Mayfield and Mahomes, that's going to be a fun quarterback battle.
It's going to be a blast, isn't it? Maybe they can recreate their day when they played against each other in college, when Mayfield had transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. Mahomes is now the starting quarterback at Texas Tech. Mayfield throws for 545 and 7 touchdowns, and the better game was had by Mahomes. Now, Mahomes' team lost, but individually, 734 yards, 5 touchdowns, and ran for 85 yards more. It's unbelievable. I thought both of their arms would fall off at the end of that game.
Those are some Big 12 stats right there. Now, you've got the stat sheet from that game in front of you. How many times did Mahomes throw it?
He threw it 88 times.
That's unbelievable.
88. I think that game ended probably 2 days later after kickoff. I mean, it's unreal how long it took.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. But with that incompletion, I want to take a look ahead to Sunday night, Charles. Packers-Patriots, only going to be the 2nd all-time meeting between Brady and Rodgers.
Yeah, they met in Lambeau in 2014. Aaron Rodgers' Packers team won the game, I believe, was it 26-21. And head-to-head, Tom Brady had a nice night, 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Aaron Rodgers, 368 and 2 touchdowns. I can't wait to see them go back and forth in this one. I hope it turns into that type of a shootout game where, you know, one team scores, here comes the other, and both of them have big, big games.
Do you think it's eating at Brady? I know he's had a lot of success, and he's never beaten Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know that it's eating at him, but he's the type of guy that is always looking for motivation, and at this stage of his career, he has to search to find it because he's done everything. Yeah, being down 1 to Aaron Rodgers, that'll be a motivator for him for Sunday.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. He's such a good route runner, shows it there on 3rd down, very proficient, and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
From the red zone now, Stafford. His throw incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now blown. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat this.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab the nugget when I can.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the try. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A Dallas 1st down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this 1st half of play from our studios in Orlando. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop. 2nd down, Prescott. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him roll too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He may try and run for this. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Prescott on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. A dump off to Elliott. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Prescott to throw it. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Prescott now on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They start on the ground here with Blount. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. The final shot before the break. Stanford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Prescott. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to throw deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Taco Charlton. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run it here with Blunt. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Out of the gun, Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line.
Offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
Still
I
first
think
down.
he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. To throw is Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's 2nd down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. High throw, but he makes the catch. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A 1st down throw for Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And he fends him off. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Stafford on first down. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
CD, allow me to switch topics here for a second.
By all means.
Thank you. The Saints have won 6 in a row, and they've been a team that we've talked about a lot in recent weeks. This coming week, though, they play the undefeated Rams. That is going to be a blockbuster matchup.
Man, they get them at home. They get them in the dome, so that's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. They are a true contender to the Rams right now, okay? Let's face it, the Rams are undefeated, taking on everyone.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Sean Lee in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their #1 mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
Prescott from the gun. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. After the interception, here's Stafford. And he dumps it off to Blunt. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll give it to him up the middle into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that's going to tie things at 20. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out, in this case to the right side, and try and throw back into the middle of the field. He got away with one there.
Back now at Ford Field. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Prescott, and he comes back with one complete. And he clocked it up, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Stafford looking downfield for Joe. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
reception. Here's Prescott. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.